All right, so remember, drivers, we're going to begin the parade lap, and I want everyone in the crowd to wave as if it was the last parade these cars will ever make, because the 75-minute endurance race is very testing on these machines. Patrick, are we good for parade time? Let's make sure those transponders are working. Everyone wave. Wave these cars off to battle. It might be the last time you see them in this shape or form. The Munchin Minion already putting bubbles everywhere on the course. All right, lining up on grid. Initial C drifting to its grid position. All right, we are clear as they're in position. Patrick, I turn it over to you.
Alrighty. I'm going to need everyone's help with this one. Drivers, prepare to race. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's green flag for Power Racing Endurance Race at San Mateo 2017. Iron Mavericks taking an early lead in this lawn race. The electric cart, the ACME cart, NIMBY rounding out 3. Kitty grabs back in a distant 4th. Yachts what friends are for. Dressed up in full captain regalia. Now holding up the leaders. And Iron Mavericks being held up by Initial C. That's going to cost them first place, second place, third place. Now even 4th place. They're being held up. Did it stall them out? No, they're back underway. Meanwhile, the top 3 really holding together. ACME Electric staying out of trouble. But NIMBY is really close behind, keeping them honest and earnest. Meanwhile, Yachts What Friends Are For, driving everywhere on the track, looking for your Moxie votes. Meanwhile, NIMBY trying to have a look on the inside for the lead.
Oh no, something's wrong with the Minion.
That's right, the Minion seems to be stalled on the course while the leaders go by. Patrick, the battle for the lead is really intense. NIMBY having a look on the inside. ACME Electric slamming the door. Oh, and getting really close, rearranging. The Minions sending out a popper looking for help. I think they're sending an SOS. Patrick, do you think that's caution worthy?
Yeah, I think so. They can't move.
First caution of the day.
They're gonna need some help getting off the track there.
Munchin Minions, unfortunately, bit off more than they could chew.
So we can push them back to pit lane there.
And as the audible groan comes from my joke, they're being pushed back. Can they make it back to pits?
They seem, yeah.
Now, folks,
push.
Remember, you can give them their
power.
Moxie votes. If you vote for them, that's real race points that are given to them.
Yeah,
they don't
may
have
need
to
a
be
little
first.
Extra help there in the points department.
All right, Patrick, looks like we're back to green. Meanwhile, Initial C holding up everyone.
C, why are you backwards?
And then ACME Electric with a beautiful move to get back underway. That was a fantastic dance. And NIMBY right behind them.
ACME Electric leading the charge with NIMBY just on their tail.
Initial C,
Initial
the C
C
is for
trying
cardboard.
to do the entire race sideways. Kitty grabs back a tight third place.
Oh, and NIMBY on the inside of ACME Electric.
Oh,
getting
NIMBY
checked
takes
up.
it.
Yes. Your new leader.
NIMBY
on the inside. Interpreting that lap traffic, that's Initial
Kitty
C.
grabs back, now in third. Iron Mavericks fourth, all on the lead lap. And it looks like the yacht leisurely going around the track.
Oh, and ACME Electric just gave up second place to Kitty grabs back.
Oh, no.
That is for position. Kitty grabs back now ahead.
Yeah. Iron Mavericks fourth.
Patrick, and looking at the lap times, Kitty grabs back is now gaining on NIMBY. Closing down the gap. It's just the start of this race, folks, though, so this is going to be a while. I noticed that the Moxie cars are hanging out together on the course a lot. And the track is so tight that the fast cars all attack them at the same time. That might affect pit strategy, believe it or not.
Yeah, there's pit strategy in this game.
The NIMBY Ferrari, quite nimble through the turns. Kitty grabs back. A new entry, a very new car. That NIMBY Ferrari is about 4 years old now. Very old in power racing terms. Oh, and a little bit of a spin trying to dodge their own teammate, Yachts with Friends War, and taking the hay bale, which needs to get rearranged.
Yeah, that NIMBY car is from Oakland, just across the bay, your hometown heroes.
And Patrick, those two mistakes, you see Kitty grabs back, slowly grabbing back.
It is real tight, first through fourth.
Oh, making its way through the lap. Oh, and Mavericks caught up again, the same time, the same car.
Oh, no.
No.
Are we good? Is this bad?
I think it's a caution.
Oh.
They're connected together. That cardboard's sticking very well.
They've mated with each other.
Yes.
Yep, we've got some cardboard stuck action there.
Yeah, the cardboard has piled up, folks. Lots of cardboard carnage right now. Patrick, even with only two cars that are the Moxie cars out there right now, that's not much traffic. It's still biting. It's still getting at the faster-paced machines. Oh, and the Munchin Minion is back on the course, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the Munchin Minion's looking fast now, too. What was that, a battery change? What did they need there?
I'm not sure what they fixed, but they are in a tremendous pace, relatively speaking, to what they are capable of doing. Oh, and Kitty grabs back, collides with Munching Minion.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
How bad is it?
They're near pit lane, not sure to throw a caution
I think
there.
they're just being dragged right back to pit lane there.
So Patrick, Munchin Minion was able to join for a lap before more calamity struck them. Oh, and a big spin by Iron Mavericks back there. So NIMBY has completed 26 laps, which quite an achievement this early on in the race. Very fast lap times. We're seeing 13.3s right now on this course. It's one of the tightest courses we've ever had here at San Mateo Maker Faire at the Bay Area. You know, Patrick, I noticed that Kitty grabs back. That collision is putting him a lap down right now. Acme Electric, though, is still on the same lap as NIMBY and pretty much right behind them. So the pressure that NIMBY Ferrari was feeling is now being applied by Acme Electric instead of the Kitty grabs back. I know that the NIMBY team, was really hoping they could coast in this race. But because there's always someone in contention for second or third, they have to keep pushing.
Yep.
They
Kitty
can't
grabs
let up.
back, and Iron Mavericks now a lap down on the leaders because of their previous calamities.
It's going to fall back another lap, too. But remember, these cars have to make pit stops, folks. Oh, and now
a little bit of rubbing and racing there.
Patrick, I see a wheel wobble now coming from Acme Electric. Yeah, the rear wheel, the wheel that has the chain on it.
Oh,
and
no.
the chain is off.
The
chain is off.
Oh, no.
It is hopping. I almost saw it's still on, but it looked like it came off for a second. It is vibrating far more than you want a chain to vibrate.
And that is lost performance there.
It has. That collision in the rear adjusted the rear wheels just enough to throw that chain out of balance. It's unprotected.
Oh, no, they spun out the Minion.
Oh, and a big collision with Iron Mavericks and the leader at the same time. Oh, and a big collision once again.
Oh, no. NIMBY, you're hitting everything.
I don't even know. How can you caution that many times?
NIMBY.
I now hear parts dangling and noises being made. Not fast car noises. An iron pipe.
Remember, this is 75 minutes, and I also want to remind your teams, you have brakes. You can use them.
You can use these things. They slow down your vehicle. They're called brakes.
You don't have to hit all the things.
No, not all the things, just most of the things. One of our track marshals holding up an inanimate carbon rod, wondering if it's important.
Yes, someone lost a rod of some sort. Is anyone missing parts from their car?
Yep, Iron Maverick's missing a part of their car.
No, what they're doing is improvisational improvements, Jim. The car is now lighter.
That's right, Patrick. The car is lighter.
And
oh no, Patrick,
Minion's having a problem getting going.
The Minion has lost its leg.
Oh, the Munchin Minion.
That isn't the banana picked up his severed limb and now running off with it. A sentence I did not expect to say this morning when I woke up. Unfortunately,
NIMBY still in the lead. Acme Electric right behind him. Acme Electric down a lap on him.
Car number 17. The
NIMBY's
Minion.
got a
Oh
lap
no,
on
and
the whole
reversing
crowd.
into the wrong direction. That Minion is going to lose more than its leg if it keeps that up.
5 minutes to driver change. 5 minutes to the first driver change.
That's right, the first driver change. Let's give you an update on the leaders. NIMBY still first place. Acme Electric in second. Kitty Grabs back in third. Iron Mavericks now in fourth for the fast car. And surprisingly, ladies and gentlemen, Yachts What Friends Are For is in fifth place behind Initial C's behind
NIMBY
them.
now has officially lapped Acme Electric. NIMBY's now got one lap on the whole field.
Initial C, where is your car? And don't you have your backup car you could use? It looks like they're working on them in the pits. For the driver change, we'll head to the pits and have an update from them.
Kitty Grabs back, trying desperately to fend off another lap from NIMBY. And Acme is hot on their tail, trying to undo a lap as well.
Right, so your top three is all well in contention. Lap changes or any collisions could set one ahead of the other, especially on a course this short.
That's right, with about a 12-second lap times, just a long pit stop can change it.
That's right, Patrick. If they pit stop and the other one gets out earlier, every 12 seconds costs them time. So we'll expect that to dramatically change the strategies being employed once the first pit stops happen. And I know that sounds weird coming from a racing series that has a boat and a Minion car that has bubbles that shoot out of its exterior, but there's actual strategy involved.
No, that's totally legit racing, Jim.
Yes. I'm wondering how long Initial C will be in the pits. I know FUBAR was trying to get back out there, but I haven't seen any real motion from them.
The yacht is still looking for the bay. It's that way, buddy. It's over that way.
Patrick, I'm seeing in FUBAR Labs in their pit stall, someone's putting on a helmet. That's a very promising sign.
Still very tight racing here.
Yeah, the top three has not really let go of each other, and NIMBY and Acme Electric are on the same lap as each other. Oh,
3
is that
minutes to
FUBAR?
driver change. 3 minutes to driver change.
Patrick, I think FUBAR Labs is making its way onto the
FUBAR
track.
Labs? No way. FUBAR Labs from New Jersey finally got their car working. There it goes, that little tiny Jeep. Moving ever so slowly across.
That is a pace.
You got it. Yeah,
They are underway.
They started from pit lane. There they are. FUBAR Labs putting down their first lap.
Giving a good old prom queen wave to the crowd. And they're making it a lap without getting completely destroyed by their much faster competitors. Very impressed by that. They are about the same speed as pretty much a shopping cart. Oh, and Kitty Grabs back completely on the wrong side of the course. Not sure what happened there. But that's going to cost them time as well.
Here comes FUBAR completing its first lap. Yeah!
One lap complete for FUBAR Labs. Patrick, I really do believe that car was built with $500. I think
it is confirmed.
that is confirmed.
Judging from its own performance.
That is very confirmed.
Driver change in 90 seconds.
First driver change of the race. I'm going to try to head to the pits to see how those pit stops happen, what's going on. Right now,
NIMBY Yeah, still in the lead.
Patrick, judging by their battery power, I don't know if they're going to make a change for this stint or the next one. Their power seems to be all right. Their pace and their lap times have not dropped as much as it needs to before they make their battery change. And with that damage that ACME Electric had, their pace is dramatically reduced, giving an advantage back to Kitty Grabs Back in third. But we'll see how it susses out after this first round of pits. The amount of attrition we had this weekend is much higher than in previous seasons. So many cars in the pits already before even the start of this race. The fact that Initial C was only out for just a few laps. They only completed 8 laps before they came back in. Oh, and that might do it for the chain. Yes, and ACME Electric got too close to Iron Mavericks, and now they're going to pit earlier than everyone. But they're going to be in there for a while to get that chain back on. So now ACME Electric, if you draw your attention to the pits right now, they're going to have to reattach their chain. They got way too close to Iron Mavericks, and that was enough to unseat it. You could hear the grinding of their wheel. First driver change of the day. First driver change of the day.
Everybody's got to pit. Everybody's got to change drivers or change costumes, whatever you got.
All right, so we're heading to the pits right now. Kitty Grabs Back has the pit stall all the way at the end of pit lane. NIMBY is down here. Iron Mavericks pulling their car into the garage, into their tent. NIMBY having a very slow stop, knowing that their competitors are not that fast, but I'm expecting Kitty Grabs Back to have a faster pace as well.
Yeah, this is right now, I think, one of the slowest driver changes we've had in a long time, Jim. Usually they're ready, Johnny on the spot here.
Right, yeah, it's a much slower pace as they switch out. NIMBY takes a little bit longer because the drivers are switching between the cars.
That's right. Oh, they're switching between cars.
Yes.
I see. Some cars might be doing a battery swap too, I think.
NIMBY's going to be the first one out. Iron Mavericks looks like the next one out. Well, I don't know what's happening at Kitty Grabs Back. They're taking forever to make their pits. If they want to make up laps, that is not the way to do it. ACME Electric, though.
Yeah, Iron Mavericks out, NIMBY's out.
I'm in the ACME Electric pits right now, and yeah, they're feverishly working. A lot of things got disjointed from that impact earlier.
This is great for Iron Mavericks. Going to mark up some more laps on ACME Electric.
It's also really good for Kitty Grabs Back. They're also going to gain on ACME Electric's ill-fated
Kitty Grabs
move.
Back is now passed. Kitty Grabs Back is now in second.
That puts Kitty Grabs Back in second place, which is very impressive for them, having a win earlier.
Iron Mavericks doing great.
Iron Mavericks can now catch ACME Electric in just 7 laps.
And it looks like Kitty Grabs Back just undid a lap on NIMBY. NIMBY seems to be driving a little bit slower with this new driver.
That's right, Patrick. Not only are they driving slower to avoid incidents like the other cars in the league so far, but their driver is fairly new behind this machine, and they did not make a battery change. So all those things are adding up to slower lap times.
I see. For NIMBY there, they've got a nice cushion, but it's only about 4 laps. Kitty Grabs Back is eating up a lot of time on NIMBY here. Even Iron Mavericks is looking down him. Kitty Grabs Back definitely putting down the fastest laps at the moment.
ACME Electric now that, oh, and they overcooked it just as I spoke their name. ACME Electric now has to claw back time.
Yeah, there goes ACME Electric.
Yeah. They
back
lost
out there. They dropped the place.
Patrick, their rear wheel with the chain that's driving them is vibrating still from that earlier impact. You can tell as they enter into turn 1. You can see it lift off the ground, higher RPM, and then the chain gets almost a little bit loose.
Initial C's back out there.
Initial C is now back out, drifting away. Patrick, NIMBY is putting a nice, comfortable lead ahead of Kitty Grabs Back, but Kitty Grabs Back has quite a good pace right now. Their lap times have not dropped off as much as NIMBY's. Their last lap was an 11.81, while NIMBY's is a 12.22.
That's right. It looks like Kitty Grabs Back's going to undo yet another lap.
That's
But
right.
there's a lot of lap traffic they're about to hit now.
Patrick, Kitty Grabs Back can really. Oh, and speaking of which, all over Iron Mavericks.
Kitty Grabs Back. And it was at Iron Mavericks. With a little bit of a bump and racing.
Patrick, that wheel wobble from yesterday on Kitty Grab Back, that impact made it come back. That is unfortunate.
They lost a half a lap that they were trying to fight back from NIMBY there.
They got aggressive and it bit them, literally.
They're still 3 laps down. Now they're right back on NIMBY's tail. They're fighting again.
The wheel
Initial
spin.
C. Oh, keep it under control, buddy.
He's holding on. If you can watch ACME Electric right now, you're seeing 3 wheels and how the wheel hop is going on their drive wheel. Every time they turn into turn 1, they're getting less power through.
Kitty Grabs Back just undid one more lap.
Oh, and that's what I expected. A huge tire pop from
That was
ACME
a tire
Electric.
pop from ACME Electric. ACME Electric is now back
Completely.
in the pits.
I knew it. I knew something would happen with that wheel getting higher and higher up from the higher RPM. That motor was driving it. Every time it landed harder and harder and wore away the tread.
That did it. That did it for them.
That did it for them. They're now in the pits right now, and that's going to be a lawn fix for them.
Kitty Grabs Back very hard racing out there right now. Just 3 laps down now.
That means Iron Mavericks has a good shot at getting to 3rd place then.
Iron Mavericks with another medal possibly.
Oh, and speaking of which, right into the timing, that's going to be a caution right there.
Iron Mavericks, where were you going there, buddy?
While we readjust the timing bridge, that was, of all the places you could hit,
Yeah,
of all the
seriously.
things you could see, you
That-
managed
that's
to hit
my
the
stuff.
timing
You can
tree.
hit the hay bales, I don't care, but don't hit my stuff.
Yeah, we have to replace that. Push it. You might want to push it in a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more.
It's made out of Chinese aluminum, which means it's steel. Okay,
Might want to get
Yeah.
that hay bale closer to it.
there we go.
The one that can get hit.
There we go. Make it a little safer now.
All right, we're going to be
Okay.
back underway.
Back underway.
Green flag for NIMBY, your leader.
Initial C going sideways. Kitty Grabs Back. Hard charging, trying to undo another 2 laps, just 2 laps down on NIMBY.
Patrick, I'm going to try to see if I can get to the ACME pit.
See what happened there. I think it was a rear tire that blew.
Patrick, I'm in the ACME pit right now, trying to figure out they're replacing their tire. That impact from earlier certainly seemed to harm your alignment. Can you get back into this?
Oh,
It
and
was pretty
Kitty
bad
with
before
a little
the
bit of
impact,
ride
because
there.
The old tire was not really on there straight, so
So it wasn't on there straight at all.
Oh.
it was not. We started the day with a wobbly wheel and we kept wobbling.
If you've been watching on the Twitch stream, you've been seeing Kitty trying to fight NIMBY there.
All right, so hopefully that ACME Electric can get back on course. Patrick, their alignment with that car, not very good anyway. That impact didn't make it any better.
Oh, Kitty now undoing one more lap on NIMBY.
And they had to really work, and they collided with the leader to do it.
Oh,
Patrick, their trap speed.
Oh, more.
Way to big
Oh.
caution there. Getting way too aggressive.
yeah, hold on there. Was that a black flag action? I don't know who
I'm
ran
trying
who
to-
into the hay bales there.
Yeah, you don't want to touch those hay bales like that. I'm going to give Kitty Grabs Back a warning. Next time I see it, that's a black
I know
flag
you're
for
fighting
them.
back. But watch it.
Patrick, if you look at Yachts What Friends Are For, they're busy texting while they're sailing.
Can you text and sail? Is that legal in California?
I think it's fine by their standards. All right, we're back underway.
Kitty grabs back.
Patrick, I think they're using their phone's GPS to find their way home.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
The
looking
nodding
for the
in
bay.
agreement.
Again, it's over there, guys.
What happened to your map? You had a physical map. Maps still run out of batteries.
Throw him a life preserver. In fact, you can throw him a virtual life preserver with Moxie points. That Moxie board's going around. Go ahead and give him your Moxie points. Help out the yacht.
Oh, and there is smoke coming from Iron Mavericks.
Oh, smoke
a lot of
coming from
smoke
Iron
coming from
Mavericks.
Iron Mavericks.
Someone get that car a nicotine
You might want to
patch.
get clear of that car.
Help
Yeah,
it to
that's
quit
smoke for
smoking.
sure. Iron Mavericks with just 72 laps complete in 4th place. That's a lot of smoke. Be very careful with that. Patrick, I picked up the scent of that a little bit earlier, but I wasn't sure what car it was until the smoke was billowing out of it. So that means, depending on how long Iron Maverick stays in there, you could see Yachts try to get 4th place. I don't know if that's even remotely possible, but so few cars surviving this hot weekend.
Got a lot of mechanical issues, some obvious motor burnings.
Acme Electric should be back out shortly. They're in the middle of a tire change when I was checking up with them.
I think Kitty just undid yet one more lap. I think Kitty is now just down 1 lap.
That's
Or
right.
two-
Kitty
or 2
Grevsback
laps.
is gaining on NIMBY. This whole time they've been closing the gap ever so shortly, which is unusual because NIMBY's car is faster. Just kind of come down to it. Race pace and strategy are playing a factor in this. And it looks like the Mark F1 car is finally making its way out of the pits, starting
There it
from
is.
the
There
pits.
it is. The Mark F1 car. Mario F1 finally putting down a lap.
It's under significantly reduced speed. Nope, going right back into the pits.
So much for that.
So much for that. It was a vignette. Patrick, I can't remember the last time I've seen this few cars back on the track after just the first driver change. I've never seen attrition like this. Usually we get 20% cars out of the race, but we're nearing just like 60% at this point. It's unbelievable.
Looks like Kitty Grevsback is going to undo yet one more lap.
That means Kitty Grevsback is about to become...
Well, no, they'll be on the same
Oh,
lap.
no, spoke too soon. All that ground lost with initial C.
Oh, no.
And now the wheel's really wobbly for Kitty Grevsback.
Oh, no. Look at that wheel wobble.
Oh, no. That is really bad. I don't know if that's going to survive.
That poor
NIMBY.
Kitty. Someone adopt the Kitty.
Someone adopt this kitty. Oh, no. Patrick, we're in a very unique situation here that I've never seen before. Not even our first or second seasons. Where NIMBY has pretty much dispatched every competitor possible. And not only that, the other cars have pretty much defeated themselves. Mechanical failures, impacts, things that a lot of more seasoned teams wouldn't do, but even the seasoned teams befell the same mistakes. But right now, NIMBY from Oakland, the NIMBY Ferrari and Yachts What Friends Are For, are just cleaning house by just doing what they've always done, putting laps down and getting the job done.
2 minutes to driver change. 2 minutes to driver change.
And it looks like Kitty Grevsback is staying out there, possibly driving the wheels off of her. It's the same wheel from yesterday. It started wobbling from a previous impact. The problem is that Kitty Grevsback has to take chances, and NIMBY doesn't.
They were a little over-aggressive. They got into some incidents with some hay bales, with Iron Mavericks, with NIMBY. All those collisions took their toll.
And it also knocked out those other drivers, which we don't usually expect. one or the other would get back. But now Kitty Grab Back is putting lap time similar to NIMBY, and all NIMBY really has to do is hold it together for this race. Just don't hit anything and you'll be fine. I say that as they hit initial C, but that you know, they can bounce right off of them. Mark F1 back out on the track. So FUBAR completed 1 lap. Mario F1 completed 9. With Mark piloting it, now putting down 10 laps. Patrick, it looks like Kitty Grabs Back strategies just to hold on to dear life. I'm not seeing them calling them in or anything. And initial C in 5th place. If Iron Maverick stays in, they can take 5th place.
30 seconds to driver change. 30 seconds to driver change.
Patrick, how long do you think that wheel's going to survive for?
Maybe 15 minutes.
You think 15 minutes? I'd bet about 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes that wheel's gone. And it's not just one wheel, it's both of them. Oh no, an initial C now.
Initial C. What are you doing, buddy?
Back underway. If you take a look at initial C, folks, that is built entirely from Home Depot cardboard. It was a 3D model that was cut into cross-section and then glued together with what I was told either sarcastically or literally a gallon of glue. Over the weekend, I'm kind of surprised at how much the body has survived. It's only lost about 1 and 1.5 wheels, I'd say. A quarter from each of the front, left, and rear.
And you're talking about the cardboard wheels, right, Jim?
Well, yes, the cardboard wheels. The
rubber
actual
wheels they're using to race.
The actual drive wheel has suspiciously remained intact despite all things encountering with it. If you get a good look at it, though, the initial C car, if you look directly to the side of it, you can see through it, which is kind of neat. The corrugation between the cardboard allows it a window view into the despair of the driver piloting it. Second driver change. Patrick, I would imagine NIMBY's going to pit for batteries now.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of people are pitting right now for batteries. Got a battery swaps. Some people have lithium, some have lead acid.
Make room for Kitty Grabs Back. You do not block pit lane. You can get penalized for that.
ACME's still desperately trying to fix theirs. Looks like Mark's back out, but Mark's got a problem.
Oh, no. On the track. They can't be on the track. Mark's car is shown to be fast, but it suffers severe understeer and reliability issues. Oh, it's fixed? We'll see. You've run only 21 laps. You are down 100 and something laps from 3rd place. I'm not joking. You are so far away from 3rd place that you could probably walk to New York and back and still not make up enough time.
You do realize you started the race very late, right?
Yeah, you pretty much joined the race the same way that we go to brunch at like 3 o'clock instead of the appropriate time. Yeah?
NIMBY's back out.
Mark says he doesn't care about the leader. He just wants 3rd. In reality, you are 54 laps down. 54 laps, the actual number. You can do, well, not if you do that.
Uh-oh, what's going on there?
So the idea is that you go around the track and complete laps in order to win a race. If you do the opposite of that, you will not go to space today. That won't happen.
NIMBY's
so right
back
now,
out.
Kitty Grabs Back has to get back on
3 laps
course.
Down. Kitty Grabs Back.
Patrick, the pit stops that Kitty Grabs Back are doing are just too slow. They have to trade helmets back and forth. It's costing them significant time. And I think that's one of the big problems with them is that they'll gain the laps back and then they make the pits and do this horrendously slow pit stop. While NIMBY just can actually take its time. NIMBY's calling this race at this point. Their strategy's sound. They've been here multiple years. They're certainly not the fastest car, and they haven't been for about 2 to 3 seasons, but they're also one of the most dependable cars ever made. So they wait for the much faster, much more aggressive cars to slowly fade away left and right. And yeah, it's not always the fastest car that wins. Not in an endurance race. It's about survival. And that's something that NIMBY in Oakland has excelled at over the years. Be sure to get your Moxie votes in, especially for the Munchin Minions, which are still buried in the pits. I don't know. They're dressed up like food. That is a thing that happened. One's a hot dog, one's a slice of pizza, the other one is a banana. I'm assuming the healthier choice for a minion. Not sure many minions are very health conscious, but here we are. So Acme Electric is still in the pits from its tire flat. And I'm not sure why. A tire change shouldn't take that long. It was on the drive wheel. I'm going to see what's going on with Acme Electric.
What are the chances you could queue up the Macarena?
If you can do it, maybe. Oh, no.
Acme, what's going on? A tire change shouldn't be this possibly long. You're losing time out there.
So we didn't bring any spare tires, so we found some here from somebody else. Mario Kart, actually. They don't quite fit the wheels, so that's why they were wobbling in the first place, and that's why they take so long to put on.
So you're telling me right now that you borrowed some random wheels that you found on the ground and then reattached them to your garbage of a car.
Yep.
And now you want to race that garbage for possibly third place.
Yep.
Why?
Because it's kind of funny to see this car getting third place.
That's true. It is literally a box of wood with wheels on it. With 3 wheels, not even 4. You couldn't split the difference. You only went for the discount. Wait, so let me get this straight. You didn't have spare tires and you only have 3 wheels to begin with.
Yep, we couldn't find any more.
Couldn't find any more. All right, back to you, Patrick. It looks like Kitty Grab Back is collided again.
Yeah, Kitty Grab's back is getting a little aggressive there. It's not helping their cause.
Patrick, I'm going to check out Kitty Grab's back pit. I'm going to see why their pit stops are slow. My theory is that it's a helmet change or something. It's highly unorthodox. Slow pit times. What's going on?
The helmet strap is difficult to get put on with the gloves, so
Want to borrow one of our helmets?
that would help, yeah.
If you go in one of the blue bins over there, there's a pink helmet.
Well, that works.
Yeah, it matches your car. I mean, safety third, I suppose, Patrick, but if all it is a helmet strap.
You know, a lot of lap traffic now caused by the yacht and the initial C.
Patrick, I'm talking with NIMBY now. It looks like, NIMBY, your strategy is to literally do nothing but keep going.
Just keep going. No matter what happens, always forward to victory.
Your forward is very forward and your victory is very near. How does that make you feel?
Sweet!
That's a very positive response. And speaking of positive responses, Munchin Minion is back on the track, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, the crowd Moxie vote favorite Munchin Minions, which is a small minion eating the driver in front of you, possibly to great suffering of the driver. Yesterday, your Moxie votes put that car in first place. It has completed less laps than most of the cars out there, but your votes are putting it way ahead.
Hey, the Munchin Minion's back out. Oh, it's all right. I just noticed.
Patrick just noticed. All right, well, there you go. It's a long race.
I've been watching the leaders, Jim, and Initial C.
So, Patrick, the Mark F1 car,
Oh, well, what is going on here?
they collided with
What is this?
everyone. They've hit everybody. They've managed to collide with every car in the track while being on course for only 44 laps. How do you hit? There's like 5 hay bales in the infield. How do you hit all of them? You have to practice to be that bad.
Six minutes to driver change. 6 minutes to driver change.
Patrick, I'm surprised, but I think the Mario Kart's never done Rainbow Road. Because if that's how they play, they would never finish. Stop hitting that hay bale. That one there, it's really, really easy to not hit it. All these other cars complete so many laps. We're going to watch it. I'm going to watch to see if they hit something. Nope, they got hit. Patrick, do you want to take money down to see if Mark F1 can finish a single lap without hitting something?
I would take that bet, Jim, but I don't think you have that kind of money.
Yeah, if we had $1 every time, we could probably do something other than this. All right, let's see. Let's watch. Let's see if they can finish a lap without hitting something. Starting this lap. Let's watch. Everyone watch. Notice how much slower they're going. Notice. No, they hit something. They got hit. That happened. Oh! Well, that's not their fault. NIMBY, what are you doing? You know what? That's not fair. I'm going to grim penalty you. I want a black flag on NIMBY. We were waiting to see Mark F1 hit somebody, not somebody hit Mark F1. You ruined my narrative. I ruined your day. It was a compelling narrative. So now they're going to give them a ridiculously simple or stupid task to do, and it looks like they're going to be... Is that air guitar? Are they dancing? They're waltzing with the broom.
Dancing with the broom.
All right, well, get them back out there. They got a race to win. You might want to get them back out there.
And then they do the Macarena. All right, back out he goes.
So I would not have grimmed them for that long, and here's the reason why. You just cost them the lead. Don't hit other cars. Let's see, can Mark get third in this race? I'm going to look, and...
No, and you need like 20 more laps, buddy.
21 more laps. Well, Patrick, he might be able to do it.
Yeah, you have to get 20 more than a lot of other people ahead of you.
I mean, people will die to make it happen.
You can do 20 more laps, but everyone else is going to do 20 laps. That's not how that works, man.
Patrick, NIMBY literally ramming into Mark F1 cost them big time. Because now Kitty Grab Back quietly made up all those laps.
Kitty Grab's Back is happy about it.
Don't worry, we'll penalize them to make it easier for everybody.
Kitty Grab's Back has been driving rather aggressive.
It has. And I haven't penalized them yet for ending one of the Iron Mavericks Day, so we'll keep an eye out on them. Patrick, right now, NIMBY and Kitty Grab Back has completed 180 laps in this race.
3 minutes to driver change. 3 minutes to driver change.
That's right, the second to last driver change of the race. And I'm sure most of those teams, the ones that are left, just cannot wait for this race to be over. Their cars can't wait for it either. Patrick, NIMBY's clawed back. It's lost time to Kitty Grab's Back. One more lap, and they'll be back on the same lap. I'm hearing the Mark F1 Mario Kart making a weird chirping sound into turn one, like an animal trying to... That's the braking? That's not a squirrel trying to leave the inside of your wheel? Oh, they're dead now. That's sad. Oh, and Kitty Grab Back made an error. That puts NIMBY back on the lead lap with them. First and second are now on the same lap. Kitty Grab Back, your leader. NIMBY coming around. That's about 10 seconds different, Patrick. Oh, Patrick, NIMBY's gaining on Kitty's Grab Back. First and second. Definitely not over yet. But we've seen before, NIMBY, when it gets aggressive, sometimes costs itself too. They seem to try to overtake in the worst spots for them. Patrick, neither of us are right about that wheel. It's still on there. Yeah, I think they, during that last pit stop, took a good look at it. Or yelled at it a bit, maybe. Possibly did something there.
NIMBY desperately trying to fight back, only 1 lap down.
Patrick, if NIMBY has a faster pit stop, then Kitty grabs back as they did the last 2 times, they could overtake in the pits. Especially when who gets into the pit stall first for the last, the second to last driver change, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
In 1 minute.
And they still have one more after that, so there's plenty of time for NIMBY to claw back. And Patrick, am I not mistaken, or did FUBAR Labs make 30 feet before binning it again?
Yeah, they may have happened again.
They did complete 16 laps, though, so that's much better than normal. NIMBY's going to really want to put down some faster lap times, though, especially in lieu of that upcoming pit stop.
Yeah, and if Kitty grabs back, is actually gaining on him.
Which I didn't expect with that kind of damage to their wheel. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you take a look on the inside, it is getting worse. That wobble, especially on the front left wheel, is tremendous, to say the least. And they're your leader, so I don't know what's going to happen then. NIMBY's car is still fine, aside from the 1 penalty for ramming the performance out of the Mark F1's car. Wow, right now, 200 laps have been completed by Kitty Grabs Back in this heat. Thankfully, that breeze is making it a little bit easier for them. And that's what friends are for. Still getting Moxie votes.
That's
Keep
right.
Voting for them.
Remember to get your Moxie votes in. There's a board, but every single car's got a button, and every single button press turns into race points.
Patrick, is that what I'm seeing? Is that the pink Camaro making its way on the track for the first time?
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. The pink Camaro's out there. The pink Camaro,
Pink Camaro is out there,
yes!
folks.
The pink
They
Camaro.
fixed their car. They're not going to win today, but they fixed it, and that in itself is... The wheel has come off your leader, Patrick. The wheel's come off. Kitty Grabs Back. Unbelievable. The wheel of your leader has fallen off with 204 laps complete. That means NIMBY now, this time by, is your new leader. NIMBY is now first place again. NIMBY Ferrari, number 430.
NIMBY from Oakland.
It was only a matter of time. But now if you look at those pits over Kitty Grabs Back, they're feverishly working, trying to figure out what to do about that. A lost wheel. Patrick with Kitty Grabs Back losing that wheel. It's looking mighty good for NIMBY. Patrick, it's been almost 3 years since NIMBY had more than 1 win in a weekend.
It has
It's been a long time. Between Master Builders and FUBAR from last year, they've had a lot of contending cars that put them in the back, but now they've watched the entire field fall apart around them. Front and back, it didn't matter. And I'm already smelling another car starting to fail.
Yep, I smell that motor burning.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you smell, that is the demise of a Power Wheel beginning. Patrick, Mark's Mario F1 is in 4th place right now and is now 3 laps away from 3rd place. 5 laps is 5 laps away. Of course, it hits. Maybe I should tell them they're doing horribly and they'll win the race. Every time I point out something's good happening to them, that looks like an actual caution. Yep, they are bound up together. And that was right at the driver change as well. Driver change. All right, second to last driver change, a caution right on top of the driver change. Patrick, this is the calmest I've ever seen NIMBY. All their nearest competitors have been vanquished by their own devices, either wrecking or mechanical failures.
All the cars pulling into the grid or into the pit.
And NIMBY's the first one out. Now they can just pull away. You can like pull in and have a tea break at this point.
FUBAR back out now too. That was a quick driver change for FUBAR.
Yeah, FUBAR had a very quick driver change. The only thing quick about FUBAR, definitely. Bill French piloting FUBAR Labs car. Not the weekend they were expecting. Patrick, that's one of the problems with some of the top tier teams building brand new cars right out of the bat. I wouldn't say that this race snuck up on them. They definitely had plenty of time to plan for it, but a new car means new possible problems, and they were going big for this year. And as you can see, they're well off pace from their previous season's vehicles. I'm wondering, Patrick, do you think they'll switch back to their older cars for future races, especially in Detroit?
I don't know, Jim.
Where they're going to have to face off against Catastrophes Mark III and Phantom, which will also be in contention as well.
Looks like we got most of the field back out there after that driver change now.
Pink Camaro is able to complete 3 laps. See if I can get in to the pits of Pink Camaro and figure out what a detailed series of events for what happened to them this weekend. We were expecting, they were on pole position early Saturday. Things were looking good for them. Baltimore Burners, not to keep kicking a dead horse here, but first to worst so far. What has happened this weekend? Could you tell us what sort of challenges you had to face?
Uh-oh.
Well, as you know, we were experimenting with a new style of brushless motor setup that included a continuously variable transmission. It turns out we made a critical design error when we put the ESC, the electronic speed controller, mounted very close to the CVT, which probably caused it to overheat and blow, but not quickly. It happened over the course of several races. So as you saw yesterday, we were just losing power over time until it finally died. And that threatened to take us out completely until a couple other teams jumped on this vehicle and brought another ESC. It's vastly different, so the settings are vastly different. It's enough to putter around, but we still have to nurse a few systems along because they took damage in the overheating.
Wow, that was a lot of things to happen. So what's the next step for you guys? Detroit's going to definitely be a challenge now.
Oh, absolutely. Once we get the car back to Baltimore, pretty much everything in the electronics is going to get torn out and replaced. Now, granted, we always have to stay under the $500 limit, so that presents a real challenge in finding quality parts to do the job. But we're going to figure it out. We're going to put it back together. We took pole position yesterday. I'm confident this will be a very fast car.
All right, so you heard it from them. Hopefully they can fix these issues because they have a fast car. It's just not fast right now, which I don't know if you know this, but it's kind of important to have a fast car now.
All right, let me bring it back in. Mark had to go pit. Looks like a mechanical issue. Yacht went in. I think they changed batteries. They're looking a little bit faster now.
Yeah, that car was definitely. Acme Mobile is back out too.
Acme Mobile, after a tire blow.
And not just a tire blow, they had to find a new tire. They had no replacements. That tire failure was dramatic.
Down. They had, second place for a while there?
They were as high as second, but now they're in fifth. We are now in the final quarter of this race. Well into it even. We're 5 minutes away from the very last driver change.
6 minutes, 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Thank you, Patrick. Oh, thank you for dropping off that pipe that was left on the course. FUBAR now, unexpected pit stop in the middle of the track after completing only 55 laps. A dramatic difference from last year, FUBAR. Fuse has blown. Bill, a very different year from last year. What's happening?
Well, it's a totally new build. I did like everything different, so it's a huge learning curve, a bunch of different new pieces and electronics, and so just got to get them all integrated. I ran out of time, and so just trying to get it to work.
For a sake of drama, Bill, have you regretted this decision for a brand new car?
No, I learned a ton. I love to do this because I love to learn about this stuff, so I'm learning a bunch. I feel like I'm letting the team down because a lot of we flew out here, or drove out here from New Jersey, so it's a big deal to come out here. So we're trying to get some laps and have some fun on this.
All right, so it looks like for our top teams in the league, both having possibly some of the worst weekends they've had. FUBAR Labs, Patrick, I would have to go back to New York in 2014 to see a season like that. And Baltimore Burners, I think you'd have to go back 2 to 3 seasons to see the performance that we've seen. Even their Horses Scariot car was much better than what's happening right now.
Well, you have to race with what you got, Jim.
Well, Patrick, it's a very sobering Icarus moment for both of these high-powered teams. They came here with very starry-eyed thoughts about this weekend, contesting pole position, winning races, and right now they're coming back home empty-handed, which is a dramatic turn of events for this championship. This isn't the only race the Power Racing Series does. Their next race is in Kansas City in June, then in the end of July in Detroit. Then there will be races in Nashville and New York, and then the season finale in Pittsburgh all the way in October. It's a long season ahead for these teams. And right now, a lot of the local teams are the ones doing well. But our long-term teams, the ones that show up to as many races as possible to win the overall title, FUBAR Labs and Baltimore Burners are all in the pits, not having the day they wanted. Kitty grabbed back out in second place. And it might have to stay that way. I don't see, unless a complete failure of the NIMBY car, unless something dramatic happened there, I can't possibly imagine them giving up the lead easily. And Mark F1 has actually been able to claw their way up to third. They had the pace. The race is not over, so careful, Icarus. We've seen a lot of examples of teams assuming way more ability than the time schedule permitted. And that's why we have a very empty field here. This is one of, Patrick, I'm getting flashbacks to like 2011 season, Kansas City, with this much retirements and so many cars just not even be able to make the endurance race. A very different picture than last year, where the field, there were more cars that had a better survival rate, and the ones that did fail had fixes they could get back out on the track. But even a tire change, a new team just not having the extra spare, really set them back. And it looks like NIMBY is pitting right now.
They are. Wonder what the change of batteries?
That might be batteries. I'm not sure what it is.
Kitty grabs back, unfortunately down a lot because of that tire incident.
The wheel came off, Patrick. That's more than a tire incident. Yeah, it is a battery change. They finally have opted in to take a battery, topping off power. And you know what? They are taking their time because they can afford it. They've built a good strategy and a good car. It's a rare moment for them. Usually they have some of the best pit stops in the business, but right now they're just making sure everything's right.
Two minutes to the last driver change. 2 minutes to the last driver change.
Oh, I believe I see the pilot of the Boxster car, which is not here. What happened to Boxster?
Well, a lot of things happened over the course of the week, but leading up to the event. But the main thing is that I burned out 2 motors yesterday in the 2 different races. Each time burned out a different motor. So basically out. Don't have any more motors left to keep racing. I wish I could, but it was fun. Learned a lot, and definitely will be back next time.
You're already excited and planning for next year, I imagine.
Yeah, I just need to look around and see what other motors are people using that are surviving the rest of the weekend and try to get some ideas from that.
How unfortunate you picked this race weekend to find out which cars could survive. I don't know if they figured it out themselves.
I want to remind the Boxster team that they need to return their transponder. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, no, something's wrong with Acme Electric. They're pushing their car back to the pits.
The car seems lumpy. Is that another flat by chance or something else they have?
I don't know.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Patrick, I've never seen this.
Kitty Grab's back's doing some great lap times out there. I'm
yes,
impressed.
they are. They are making
NIMBY's
up.
back out there now.
Kitty Grab's back is at least. I think they're going to try to outdo NIMBY in the fastest lap time. At least to take home something for themselves. They have already had a very fantastic weekend. But I think they were really putting their hopes out for this endurance win, especially after so many top cars retired. They saw an opening and a chance, but that lost wheel really cost them at the end of the day. And NIMBY has a very comfortable lead. And with the new tires, they're now putting down a 9.298 lap time. Oh, and a little bit rough there. Oh, and Mark barreling into the pits somehow. That is the last driver change.
Last driver change.
Final driver change of the race. Mark ignoring how pit stops work. Running through absolutely, I don't even know what he's spraying at the. I know exactly what's happening now. I can see now why he went through that. Yeah. Yeah. Mark, if you do that again, you're getting black flagged, just so you know. Driving through a wall. Yes, what? Are you kidding me? What? He tells you what? Oh, I just drove through a wall. No big deal. What are you, the Kool-Aid man?
You know you're breaking rules, damn it.
All right, so now you are in third. You could park it and probably stay in no, I wouldn't park it just yet. Well, just a few minutes left now of this endurance race, and NIMBY is in a unique position compared to last year. NIMBY's been around for a long time in the Power Racing Series, and it started off with a very competitive car. And then after a season or two, they were pretty much swallowed up by much faster teams. And in this very unique weekend where a lot of newer teams brought some very fancy hardware, their nearest competitors, one after another each race, basically fell to pieces. FUBAR Labs has only clocked 55 laps this entire weekend. And in comparison, NIMBY has done...
The Mario Kart is getting black flagged for Mark's infraction of driving through the pit wall. The Grim debated on whether or not to give the fraction since they changed drivers. It's not Mark who's taking the penalty, it's his teammate, but the car is now slowed up because of it. That's right.
Oh, they're going to have him play a thumb war.
It's a thumb war.
They've been penalized with a thumb war.
All right, now they're going to back out on track. Thumb war over.
Interesting choice of penalty. I haven't seen a thumb war issued yet before. They've already danced. Oh, yeah, they've been black flagged multiple times this race. Initial C going back out there. And the pink Camaro coming back out again. Out or in. Oh, and the Munchin' Minions is back out on the track. So we just had a bunch of cars rejoin the race. And the Munchin Minions pulled out basically to beach themselves at the last turn. And they used the popper to send a distress signal. A caution. Patrick, I didn't realize that the Munchin Minions uses poppers as distress signals. Instead of the fairly obvious moment that the car doesn't move, they have a... Now just 11 minutes left in the race. And it looks like we're back underway. The Munchin Minions. Oh, that was a hard impact somewhere in the back. Seeing the vibration from the Acme electric car yet again. Initial C back out after a long pit stop. Patrick, it looks like most of the cars have rejoined the race. It's like they didn't feel like being around. They came back for the end of it. The last 10 minutes of the race even. Oh, and Yachts What Friends Are For pulled over.
Yachts What Friends Are For, you have received a grim penalty for unnecessary piracy. You are required to sing a sea shanty before you can resume your race. We are in the sea, la 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 la, ole ole ole, la 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 la. Lovely. I didn't know that pirates sang ole. You have satisfied your penalty. You may resume your racing.
Patrick, what happened? What on earth was that? Oh, caution.
FUBAR is, FUBAR.
Back to green.
Just 9 minutes left in racing, 9 minutes to go.
9 minutes to go before the end of the race. NIMBY, your leader and presumed winner at this point. Kitty grabs back in second place. A second place that was not certain as little as 20 minutes ago. If you're just joining us, the Power Racing Series, under $500 electric kart series. This is the 75-minute endurance race where cars build and break constantly. And boy, we have seen more break than racing today. At one point, there were no more than 3 cars on the track, and most of the mechanical failures kept the pits very interesting. If I go through the field, NIMBY is about the only car, the NIMBY Ferrari is the only one that hasn't had any real problems, aside from a grim penalty earlier for ramming the Mark F1 car pretty much as hard as it could. Second place, Kitty grabs back, lost its front wheel about halfway through the race after an impact it suffered 10 minutes into the race. They replaced the wheel, got back out. They traded first and second with NIMBY about 3 times in between that stint and have been pretty much in second place since. Third place is the Mario Mark F1 car. After hitting about every single thing on the track, including the drivers, the marshals, the hay bales, the pit wall, everything, they've managed to do one thing, which is possibly finish third if they finish. In fourth place, Initial C, which is incredibly surprising with 130 laps complete, spent a lot of its time in the pits from overheating issues and a number of other controller problems. Acme Electric in fifth place was in contention to win in the first 10 minutes of the race, but a very dramatic tire explosion on the rear drive wheel sent it, unfortunately, to the pits. The team did not have a spare tire. They had to look around to find something to replace it. And we're out of the race for about 20 minutes. Yachts What Friends Are For in sixth place. NIMBY's Moxie car, which has been driving around using its phone GPS to find water, has been unsuccessful in doing so, and has been unsuccessful in general other than winning the hearts of the Moxie voting audience. In seventh place, the Iron Mavericks, which has been essentially out of the race since halfway through, had a lot of smoke dramatically billow out of it going into turn one about, I'd say about minute 25 or 30 into the race, Patrick. I can't remember the exact time. But that smell, a distinctive motor controlling magical electric smoke billowing smell that put it out of its race.
6 minutes to go, 6 minutes left in racing.
FUBAR Labs in 8th place, only this entire weekend. FUBAR Labs, which was expecting to make a title hunt attempt this weekend, has spent most of its weekend in the pits, only completing 55 laps, a very dramatically unexpected situation for them. Munching Minions, last year the Moxie Kings, and possibly the Moxie Kings again, all the way in 9th place with only 42 laps completed, but they have been relying on your Moxie votes, which, by the way, I will say also counts for race points. They actually get points for just showing up and putting on a scene. And then in last place, surprisingly, possibly the biggest surprise story of this weekend, Baltimore Burners Pink Camaro of just 6 laps completed. After winning pole position early Saturday, they've been mired with issues from a whole range of drivetrain problems. And they're hoping to be back in Detroit in July to really bring this title hunt out. An initial C on its caster wheel. Feeling a bit more grinding, and it's slowly lumbering its way back. These cars are crawling to the finish line. Whether it was the heat out there or the direct sunlight, this year's Bay Area Maker Faire race has been one of attrition, with very few cars even making it to the endurance race. A big surprise
Just
for a
4
lot of us.
minutes left in our race. 4 minutes left in this 75-minute endurance race.
We're counting down the time, running out. But NIMBY Ferrari,
I think as long as he stays out there for the next 4 minutes, he's got it.
all they need to do is hold on, and they've got this win.
Kitty grabs back, hoping for calamity from NIMBY. Mark in the Mario F1.
Mario F1 was as low as 9th place in this race, but
He clawed his way up to 3rd.
yes, even after just about every incident, was able to claw back, mostly through just persistence, honestly, and a lot of fixing in the pits, spending a lot of time in the pits. But since the rest of the field was spending a lot of the time in the pits, it's no surprise that they're 3rd. NIMBY Ferrari started their team in 2014. They are your hometown heroes at the Bay Area Maker Faire. They've been around for quite some time now. Oh, and the leader grappling with ACME, exchanging words. ACME is essentially the box the NIMBY car came in. And now the box quietly passing by NIMBY. But ACME Electric is buried in 5th place, so as time runs out for them, all right, now with just the 2-minute warnings coming up for this race. Oh no, the ACME kart out of power. The box is done. Yet again. What did he pick up from his own car? Back underway. The 2-minute warning has hit. The Minions are trying to get their last Moxie votes in. They're looking for their final Moxie votes. They've taken the body off of the car and is wearing it as a costume at this point. Which is weird, watching a slice of pizza shake a Minion instead of the other way around. The final minute is coming for NIMBY Ferrari. And what has been a very strange race. A race of attrition. If you're just joining us and have been in years past, you'll notice the lack of vehicles on the course. the lack of functioning cars at the end of this race. A combination of the heat and the lack of preparation and just good old race incidents has knocked out a lot of the field. And NIMBY Ferrari's looking better than ever. They're just completed their 330th lap in this race. 330 laps have been put down. And now the final minute has ticked by.
White flag. White flag.
The last minute of the race. Oh, and a big impact there. Kitty grabs back. Lost its wheel and driving back to pits with its left wheel to finish the race. Kitty grabs back.
Kitty needs that moxie. Driving on 3 wheels, they're leaning hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kitty grabs back. Finishing in second place with its just 3 wheels. I'm watching the clock for the checkered flag. Just 15 seconds left for NIMBY. Coming on down. Kitty grabs gas, going to finish at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. NIMBY Ferrari, your winner for the Bay Area Maker Faire Endurance
Finish your
Race.
laps. Finish your laps.
NIMBY Ferrari first place. Kitty grabs back with 3 wheels in second place. Mark F1 in third. A dramatic last moment for Kitty grabs back.
If I can get all the cars at the start-finish line right now for some medals.
Pastor, we're going to have to sign off on the Twitch
Yep.
stream right now. Hopefully everyone out there on the Twitch stream enjoyed this race. Our next races will be in Kansas
that's
City
right.
and Detroit.
Here, let me go. A golden yes for the NIMBY team. Here you go. A golden yes for your race win. Kitty grabs back second place, gets a silver. Okay.
On 3 wheels.
And Mark, where are you, Mark? Your car. Over here, guy. Here you go. Bring it here, guys. Here you go. You guys get a bronze nope. There you go. Show the camera there.
All right, round of applause for first, second, and third in the endurance race. Kitty grabs back your first race weekend ever. You get a win, you get second in the endurance, and you finish with 3 wheels. How does it feel?
I feel like I got the complete experience, Jim. I got all of it.
The full range and repertoire Power Racing Series?
Yeah, well, except for the lighting myself on fire, probably. That'll be next year.
Don't worry, there's plenty more races where you can set yourself on fire. NIMBY, back in victory lane. Your last endurance race win, I think, was about 3 years ago, possibly even 4 years ago. How does it feel?
It feels very good. Very good. Yes. You know, I think we're all winners here.
We are all winners here. But more importantly, you have won this race, so it must feel even better. Third place now. Your best finish yet in Power Racing Series. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great to finally win something after 4 years.
Well, you finally followed the rules mostly this time.
Yeah, well, that's also why I'm the technical inspector and I make the rules as I go. So my car just became legal this year.
Oh, it just became legal this year with a solid third place. And the rest of the field, the classification breakdown. Initial C managed to finish 4th place. Acme Electric in 5th. Yachts What Friends Are For in 6th place. 7th place Iron Mavericks. FUBAR Labs in 8th. The Munchin Minions from the Grewmobile, 9th place. And the Pink Camaro from Baltimore Burners finished out in 10th. So that about all wraps it up for Power Racing Series at Maker Faire Bay Area. That was our endurance race. We'll have an exhibition at 4:30 to discuss the vehicles. Our next round is in Kansas City Maker Faire in June, the Detroit Maker Faire in July, After that, we have Maker Faire in Tennessee, a race in New York, and our grand finale in Pittsburgh in October. So hopefully we'll get to see some of you then.